votes went to George Wallace.
Now, let me return the favor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, Jerry Seinfeld. He's the number one man. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Oh, please.
I am so happy you're here. Thank you so much for coming by. My best friend in the whole world. That's what I can say.
This is ridiculous.
It really is. Out of all the people I could have gotten on this show, Tim Allen, Roseanne, everybody wanted to do this show. I said, Jerry wants to do it.
And here I am.
God bless you.
This is funny because here we are, and this is what we would do normally.
Yeah.
Just sit and talk. And now we're getting paid.
You're getting paid, my friend. I'm not getting paid. You get paid when you wake up in the morning. You're on television 15 times a day. You know that?
That's true.
You're always getting paid. And so what do you do for, people don't know about you. What's your hobbies? What do you do?
Well, cars are a really big hobby for me. I'm very interested in cars, as you know.
You have too many
we
cars.
have to pretend like we don't know the answers to these questions.
How many cars do you have, Jerry?
Oh, I have a couple of cars. But you know what I'm doing this weekend?
What?
I'm going to the Long Beach Grand Prix. Woo! And, now, listen to this. I'm going to be on Little Al's pit crew. Al Unser Jr. is going to have me on the pit crew.
Well,
I told you, don't interrupt me until I get a laugh.
But we might be here all day waiting for you to get a laugh.
No, but listen to this. You know, seriously, you know what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
I'm going to be holding the sign. When he goes by, I'm going to be holding the sign. Now, does that seem like a good idea to have a comedian holding the sign? You know, your engine's on fire. Just kidding.
You are crazy. So you're going to be down in that pit?
Yeah, I got a fire suit that's fitted, you know, the whole thing, and
you got to put on the whole.
Yeah, the helmet, and I'll be out there. And if he loses, you know, I don't know.
Then you're not going to be around when he comes back to the pit, are you?
No, I'll be gone.
Oh man, that's good. Well, let me tell you something about you. You have the #1 show on NBC. You are NBC, all right?
Yes.
So okay, you won an Emmy.
I want to get my head on that peacock.
You know what? That peacock would look a lot better with your head on it, too. You have the #1 show on NBC. You won an Emmy?
An Emmy. I did not win an Emmy. I won an Emmy, which is a lot easier to win.
You know, I'm only going to hit you one time. You won an Emmy. You had a #1 book.
Yeah.
And you did all of these things you really think you're something, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I've done it. Now you're trying to do it. And I don't have to. I can just watch.
Well, I'm having fun. Let me ask you something. A lot of people don't know this. I know about you, but how long you been doing this and all of that stuff?
I've been doing well, we started the same time, around summer of 1976.
Yeah.
So it's coming up on 20 years.
I've been knowing you 20 years, I don't know how to tell you this, but my mother passed away at 16 and my dad at 18. I've been knowing you for 20 years. You've been the best friend I could ever have in all of that time. I know you better than anybody else, and I want to thank you for that right here, live on television. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I've also been trying to get rid of you for 20 years. And that's just great. No, you don't do dirty jokes or anything like that. Why not?
I don't know. I can't think of any.
I can.
I was trying to work. Well, in the beginning, I didn't work clean. You remember that. In the beginning, everybody...
You said a few words. You were never dirty.
Yeah, but then I took them out because I wanted to make sure I was doing, like the best stuff I could do. But that's the only reason. You know I'm filthy. I tell all kinds of dirty jokes. But he is the best joke teller. But you can't tell any. Yeah, tells the funniest jokes. You know the jokes that people tell
jokes. I do a good job at that. I like to have fun doing that. But I get them from him. See, he can't tell them right, then I tell him. But I've been watching this show, and you're in New York, and everybody I know in New York has 8, 9, 10 locks on the door. You ever lock your door?
No.
I mean, Kramer's coming to there every 15 minutes.
Yeah, because it's funny. I mean, if I lock the door and I have to get up to answer the door, I mean, if you would lock this door and had to open it for me to come out, it would slow down the whole show.
You want to go back out again and try this?
Yeah, let's try.
Okay.
Now, this is what it would be like on my show if every time somebody had to come in, you had to open the door. Okay, now you pretend you're doing a scene, and then I'll knock.
So I'm telling this guy that 15 times, I don't want the money, you keep the money, I don't need it. Yes, I'm talking to somebody in here. It's great.
I don't know. We don't lock the door because it's just, a lot of times when people live next door to each other, they don't lock the door.
Oh, that's true.
You know, if they live down the end of the hall. No? Well, we'll have to go back and change all those episodes then.
Okay, I'm waiting till you get that laugh. Go ahead.
That was it. It's a small one.
Okay, who are some of the comments you started out with? I know them, but the audience, they don't know.
Oh, Jay Leno and
Right.
Paul Reiser and Larry Miller and...
Did you hear all those names? Jay Leno, Paul Reiser. I'm the only non-millionaire out of the group. You understand that?
I don't know about that. You've been doing some work lately.
Well,
I think you're up there. I think you made $1 million so far.
You got to be You know what? You know what? You know what? When we first started, we made an agreement.
Yeah.
You remember what that was?
We made an agreement that whoever made the first $1 million would give the other one half. Now, at the time, he was doing better than me.
But we talking about this today. Where is your checkbook? You're just too nice. You're just too nice. So, why do you prefer New York over L.A.? I know you... you don't hate L.A., I know that, but you just prefer New York.
I love New York.
Yeah.
I love New York. I love to be able to have nothing to do and have something to do doing it.
That's true.
I just love to walk down the street. And we've had
Yeah.
a lot of times there we've just had nothing to do and just walking down the street and you know, and it's cold.
That is true.
I like the cold. I don't know. People in New York are funny. Garbage men are funny in New York.
Everything is fun in New York. Yeah, that's we walk the streets and it's cold and we put our coats on and it's just different. You bump into people, you know, especially during the holiday season when we're back and I've driven with you in New York too. You're kind of a crazy driver, you know that?
Yeah. We were driving in New York this past winter and I have this car that has the ABS system, you know, the automatic braking system. So I thought, let's try this out. We were on the snow. I said, let's try this out and see if this thing really works.
And so I said to him, I don't care what kind of car you got, ABS, this car will skid like any other car.
So we were coming down Lexington Avenue, we were doing about 30 miles an hour, but it was on packed snow, and I jammed on the brakes, and nothing happened. And we hit a police car. And we looked, I was so scared. I thought, oh, God, hard copy, an inside edition, they're going to be all over me. And he looks over, he says, is there anybody in the car? I said, no.
He said, keep going.
So, if there's any police officers out there, if you're wondering what happened to your car, I hit it. But he was an accessory.
You just stay right there, because we got a lot to talk about here tonight. Jerry Seinfeld is with us. Thank you so much. We love you.
All right.
Yeah, he's great. He's the man. He's great. All right, so let's go to the show, about the show. Now, I don't know whether it is. You say it is. Is this the last year or not? You in one more season?
I don't know. We don't know how long the show's going to go. It kind of depends on how much people are watching it or enjoying it and how much we're enjoying doing it. It's like a party. You know, you go to a party and you're having a good time, and you don't want to stay till the very end of the party. You know, but you don't want to leave too early. You might miss some fun. So you got to kind of figure out how you feel and what kind of time you're having, and then you just go. At some point, you just look around and go, all right, let's go.
And you don't know when that is.
Yeah, well, I'll know when that is. It's like a party, but you don't want to stay too long.
Could be in the middle of the season.
Could be right now.
Could be right now.
Yeah.
Good night. Well, that's good. You know what? Because you said it's one more year, but like they offered the Beatles $500 million to play in Shea Stadium, what if they come back and offer you like an enormous amount of money to go another year or 2 years or so?
I don't do it for the money. You can't. Besides,
so why don't you tell NBC you don't want to do it for the money when you're negotiating your contract? That's not what they hear.
Well, that's because now I have money. I don't need it. But yeah, it's more important to do it when you're loving it. You know,
Yeah.
I think if you always do what you love best in life,
money doesn't matter.
Yeah, you'll always have money. Actually, it's when you're doing it for the money that you don't love it that you end up with no money.
That's true.
Because people can tell when you're doing something for the wrong reason.
That's true.
Like what you're doing. You know, you're out here for the wrong reason.
How old were you when your mind just got up and walked away from you? let me ask you a question. If you're not thinking about movies at all?
I'm thinking about going to the movies. I'm not really thinking about being in the movies. Because, you know, if you go to a bad movie, it's a couple hours, you know? But if you're in a bad movie, that's 6 months. You know?
You got a point. But I see, you know, the reason I ask about the movies...
You think I'd be good in movies?
Yeah, because let me tell you why. The American Express commercials that you do?
Yeah.
When you're running over the cars and something, sometimes you just look, you have that look like, I'm thinking, as an actor, you make a great James Bond. I don't know why I think that, but...
I don't know why you think that.
But wouldn't he make a great character, something like that? Yeah. What do they know? They got to go along with whatever I say, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. I would like to be like a superhero. I'd like to play Spider-Man or Mickey Mouse or something like that. Mighty Mouse. I would like to play Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
If they would make a feature of Mighty Mouse, I could play Mighty Mouse. Because he was somebody I looked up to when I was a kid.
You really had a low life, didn't you?
Yeah.
One more question. Did you ever do anything stupid?
Well, you must have known some stupid things.
How about the dry cleaners, that you went to the dry cleaners one time? You ever do anything stupid at the dry cleaners?
No.
You never left any money in your clothes at the dry cleaners?
God. I once came home from the road and I had like $3,500. I had been working on the road for a few weeks and I didn't want to leave. You know, sometimes you think, I'll hide it. You know, you get these security things like you leave a TV set in the backseat of your car and you got to leave the car on the street for a few minutes, so you put a sweater over the TV, you know. No one will know. It's just a couple of sweaters, you know. One of them is square with antenna coming out of it. So I thought, I'll take this money and I'll stick it in the hamper. Because in case crooks break in, you know, you get these thoughts, they'll run through the house and they'll never be able to find the money. So, of course, I was the one who couldn't find the money. And I took the clothes to the cleaners, and I never saw the money again. And I went back there, like, I dropped it off, went back like 2 hours. I went, oh, my God, that money, I took it to the cleaners. And I went back there, a place on La Brea and Melrose. And they told me, we didn't see any money.
They were laughing, too.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, you're so cool. You're always cool. Nobody ever sees you do anything. I just noticed how you handle the press when sometimes we're out and they're taking pictures of you and pulling on you and all things like that. How are you so cool? How do you handle that stuff? Because I couldn't, you know, cause I couldn't do that because basically they're not taking pictures of me, but, you know.
Well, I always feel like they're not taking anything from me. You know, people, like, when they see a camera, they want to hide. Well, why? What is this camera going to do to me? What are they taking? It's just me. It's just a picture of me. I'm on camera right now. What are they getting? They're not getting anything. So
you got that right.
Yeah. It's your show.
Okay.
So I just doesn't bother me. I've never see if you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Then you worry.
Then you got to worry about cameras. But I'm a good boy.
That's true. That's true. You are so good. You don't even you ever cuss? I mean, really get mad and just go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I don't see you do that. I saw you do it one time.
Yeah, remember that time that you locked my door?
That. Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. If you come out of somebody's house and they're walking outside, what are you supposed to do when you walk outside? Close the door. So I closed his door, and all of a sudden, what the hell you closed that door for? The door locked, you know.
I had the key, and I didn't have the key, and he closed the door, and it locked, and I decided I'd blame him for that. But that's what friends are for.
Really?
Yeah. One time we drove cross country and we got in an argument, and he used to do this thing when he would get into a fight with you, he would just give you the silent treatment. He wouldn't talk to you for days. And we were driving cross country. So when he stopped, he had a sandwich, and I walked by him, and I took the sandwich out of his hand, and I just threw it in the garbage. Because I was trying to get him to talk. You know how frustrating it is when someone doesn't talk? And I took that. It's not true.
That is so true. That made me so mad. You've done a lot of stupid things, come to think of it. What about when we were in Amsterdam coming down those little tiny steps? What'd you do there?
I pushed him. I thought it'd be funny, you know. You know how they have steps that are like this big. And it was a long thing, and he was going slow. So, you know, it was about 30 steps. So I thought it'd be fun. I'll just push him, you know. Because I've seen people in the movies, they tumble. They're always all right. You know.
I tumbled. But I thought I'd beat the living daylights out of him. Okay, another question about the show. Is there going to be like, right now we're saying one more season.
I'm not saying nothing right now.
Well, who's saying all of this stuff?
I'm definitely doing one more season, but we may go past that.
Okay. If you only do one more season, would you try to close the show with like a grand finale or something like that?
You got to do something.
Yeah.
We can't just end this show like, and that's it. You know, you got to say goodnight. Okay. Of course I'm going to do something. Well, what do you think, I'm stupid?
But I mean, don't ask me a question like that whether I think you're stupid or not. But no, it could be something big. Some shows just go out, like one of the big shows just went out with a regular show.
Now, there are shows that do that, but you got to do something for the people. They've been loyal to you all that time. You got to come up with something.
Yeah.
You got to do something. Do something.
All right. Do something.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, do something. Have some kind of a finish.
Oh,
that's a good show business rule for you. Have some kind of a finish.
Okay. I guess we're going to come back in a few minutes, and I'm going to find a finish here because I don't know what to say right now. Young man, we're back, and we got a few more minutes, and I guess I want to ask you, you've been in comedy for 20 years. Let's go back 20 years. You know what you first did?
My first joke?
Your first joke.
I'm left-handed. Why are left-handed things always associated with negative things? 2 left feet. Left-handed compliment. Where'd everybody go? They left. That was my first joke.
I remember that.
You remember that?
You're too much fun. Listen, I want to thank you personally for coming out because it's really big. This is my first time doing this, and I get the #1 man in television. I just want to thank you. And the audience, I know they love you, but thank you for coming by, and God bless you. We wish you the best. Thank you so much. You're too nice. Jerry Seinfeld, ladies and gentlemen, right here tonight on Late Hour. I'm George Wallace. We love you. Thank you for tuning in.
Gentlemen, George Wallace!
Yeah, let it roll, let it roll!
George.
Come on and make me jump, George Wallace.
One of them old big head boys.
Come on and make me jump, George
You didn't even know I did magic, did you?
Wallace.
First thing I want you to know is I'm not crazy.
Hey, for real though.
Turn it up so I can hear it. Come on, hit it again.
George Wallace.
Oh, he's into it. Yeah, come on, come on.
Make me jump, George
That's good.
Wallace.
Come on, that's good.